Welcome to Sunday School for CEOs, where your next level in business starts with a mind aligned with God as boss. I am Jenny Bitner, ordained spiritual minister and business leader of over 20 years. And let me tell you, I have chased the titles, the money, the recognition, only to realize that the real pursuit is in experiencing mind miracles every day in every way. And this podcast is here to show you how. Real life, real stories, real shifts from fear to love. So let's dive in. Okay, I wanted to put out this podcast today because of an amazing conversation that happened in one of my business mentorship spaces. I am leading 5 women right now through this amazing 6-month process called Concept to Cash Flow. And it's been such a beautiful opening and just the amazing conversations that we're having behind the scenes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need more people to experience what we're experiencing on these calls. And so I'm actually bringing you one singular topic that we riffed on today. And I was like, I got to go do a podcast on this. So I wanted to bring this to you because this is a real business, not question necessarily, but I would say that this is a real thing in business that we see happen, and I have seen with countless clients over all of these industries when it comes to actually, now this container again is called From Concept to Cash Flow, meaning that these are women who are building a business from the ground up, from a concept, from a vision, from an idea, all the way through to it generating income, right? So the kind of work that we're doing within it is very much geared towards we are starting from a launch pad. And so I wanted to bring this in here today and talk about what happens when we have this new business or this new offer and we need it to make money ASAP to support our lifestyle or to pay the bills or to put food on the table or to continue living the lifestyle that we've had. And we've made a pivot, we've made a shift, we've maybe, I've seen this happen a million times too, right? I've had these feelings myself. I'm burning it all to the ground. And so we are starting from scratch, bunny ear, for those of you listening to just the audio, starting from scratch in the sense that if we've closed down other streams of income, other ways that we have produced income, and we're riding all of our eggs in one basket with this new business model that we're about to launch. The concept's dropped in and we're ready to rock and roll, but there's a lot of pressure that is now put on this new launch, right? And so one of the things that I would say is that because one of the questions that will come up with that is like, okay, well, I don't want to have to go get a job. I don't want to have to go get a job while I'm building this. And so I don't want to say that just going and getting a job is the answer, because there's so much more. There's context here, right, to be had. So what I want to get into the deeper issue, it's not just employment versus entrepreneurship, right? That's not the question here. The deeper conversation is around the fear, it's around the pressure, it's around the identity attached to money and survival. Okay. And again, I feel like I have been here. Okay. I am running this podcast episode for all the business owners out there, including myself, because there is no way that your ego doesn't come in and speak these words to you while the Holy Spirit is trying to speak over you with a different message. Because I really do want to separate this practical and this psychological side of it, right? Because practically there, yes, is some wisdom in creating a stable income while your business grows. But what's happening in our mind is the suffering that comes from this belief that this business, this launch, this concept, this idea, this vision, it must succeed immediately, or you will be unsafe. you will be inadequate. You are going to be somehow unsupported if it doesn't take off and start earning you this abundance of money in your bank account tomorrow. You know what I mean? So, what I want you to know is that the business is not your source, God is your source. The business, the offer, the thing we're launching, this may be a channel through which support will come. But when we make the business responsible for our safety, we place this burden on it that it was not meant to carry. We place pressure. We place this expectation. We place this, I'm building this to make money. I'm building this because I want to be a millionaire. I'm building this because I want to be influential. I'm building this and I'm launching this so more people can validate me. I am launching this so that I can make all of this money that I see other women out there making. So, what I want you to ask yourself, truly, is what are you making the launch of this new business mean about you? If you are someone who's launching a new business, product, service, offer, what are you making it mean? What are you afraid of if it doesn't succeed immediately? My biggest question would be, are you looking to the business to provide you peace, or are you bringing peace to the business? Are we looking externally out there for that thing to provide me peace? Or am I bringing my gifts, my talents, my peace to this vehicle, to this pathway that I'm creating? What would change for you if you knew that support for you was already guaranteed? If you knew that everything was covered, everything, the money was going to be there, the bills were going to be paid, food was going to be on the table, rent was going to be covered, all of these safety things, all of these, all everything that makes you possibly feel unsafe. If we knew that was already guaranteed, what would change? Because the truth is, if taking a part time job or a consulting contract or freelance work or a temporary income source, if that created more peace and reduced all the fear based decision making that's been going on for you, that could actually create the spaciousness needed for your business to grow more naturally, to grow in peace. Because the ego is going to say, if this launch doesn't work, I'm in trouble. If this doesn't go well, we're doomed. How are we going to pay our bills? Whereas spirit is going to come in and say, your safety was never dependent on a launch. Your safety was never dependent on this business. So the question isn't whether you should get a job. The question is whether you are making your business carry the weight of your freedom. The truth is, a business grows best and organically, and it grows the most abundant and robust. And like, I just see this beautiful, lively, luscious garden. A business grows best when it's an expression of your purpose, not when it's held hostage to your survival. When your business becomes the only pathway to your safety, that is where the constriction happens. And it how can it yield? How can it grow? How can it energetically expand when it is responsible for a whole bunch of things it was never meant to be responsible for? And maybe you're saying, my business used to light me up. I felt inspired and aligned. Now it feels heavy. Now it feels stressful and it's exhausting. It doesn't bring me peace anymore. What do I do? And that becomes the question is, was the business ever the source of your peace though? Because peace comes from a mind that's aligned with spirit, that's aligned with God. Peace does not come from circumstances. It doesn't come from accomplishments and accolades and validations and external awards and clients and revenue and a particular business model. That's not where peace comes from. It comes from a mind that is conditioned through practice, through daily devotion. It comes from a mind that is aligned and conditioned to listen to the spirit, is aligned with God. This is why I say God is boss. We're creating businesses where God is boss. Because when we are aligned and our mind is aligned with a mind miracle mindset, right? If we're looking for where can I experience miracles in my mind every single day, this is what I'm after, this is what I'm looking for, then we know that those miracles have actually come through spirit. They've come through Holy Spirit. They've come through God. They've been channeled through us. That's where the peace is actually coming from. So the moment that we've attached our peace, or we think that's where the peace, the root of the peace is coming from, that circumstance, that business, that client, I just lost my best client. I just lost my biggest client. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? They were the source of our family's income. That was everything. Well, then let me tell you, that was never where peace was coming from to begin with. Because that client could not have been your source of safety, something external to you. Because that's one of the ego's favorite tricks. It's convincing us that something external to us is the source of our peace. That's why it'll say in our ear, whisper in our ear, this business will make you happy. And then it later says to us, this business is taking away your happiness. In both cases, the business is being assigned a role it was never meant to have. That's not fair. Your poor business. What's that saying? If you convince a fish that it's meant to climb a tree, it'll spend the rest of its life thinking it's inadequate. It's like your poor business. If you convince your business it is meant to be the source of your peace and happiness and survival and safety, then your business will not be able to grow into what it's meant to grow from because it's being set up on the wrong context. Your business is a vehicle for you to extend love and peace and purpose, and this is how you're doing it. And then we trust that God delivers. God delivers us to us in just the most abundant and beautiful ways. So, this is where I want to end with some of these questions for you because oftentimes we'll give meaning to our business. And this is where that shift starts to happen in our mind. So, did you once start the business? Maybe you launched your business by serving, and now all of a sudden you find yourself performing in your role, performing on social media, performing as some sort of level of coach, mentor, service provider, whatever it might be. Like, did you start by and expressing the context of love and your purpose and your deepest, rawest, vulnerable self, your truth. And now all of a sudden you find yourself, all you're doing is trying to prove, trying to explain, trying to prove something. At one point, were you listening to guidance and now all of a sudden you're listening to fear? Did you start this business from inspiration and now you're operating out of obligation? So, what often is happening is that it's not that peace has disappeared. It's that the willingness for us to remain connected to peace while we're in the building phase, the conscious awareness we have, the willingness to practice a mind miracle way of life, right? To have that miracle mindset, to be choosing to follow the pathway of perspective shifts that allow us to go from this fear-based state to one where we are staying in our connection to the source of peace, which is up. So asking yourself the question, what am I using this business for? Because it's either going to serve the ego, or it's going to serve the Holy Spirit. Because that same business in an ego's classroom can be, I need clients to validate me. I need revenue to feel safe. I need success to prove my worth. I need recognition to feel significant. Or in the spirit's classroom, I am here to extend love. I am here to be truly helpful. I am here to learn trust. I am here to practice my forgiveness. I am here to release fear. So even though the external business itself looks completely the same and looks identical, the internal purpose is completely different. So it's not about your business not bringing you peace anymore. It's about, did the context of this business change? Is the way that I'm looking and perceiving my business one through the ego's lens, where it requires me to place all of this undue pressure on it for my survival? So if you're sitting in a position where you're in this just launch phase of your business, or you're in a position where you're asking yourself the question, is it time to burn it down? Do I need to leave? Like, what am I here to do? All I ask is that you ask yourself the question, am I being guided away from this? Or am I trying to escape a lesson in my classroom right now? Because the ego will love changing circumstances, but carry that same thought system into the next venture. So the new business isn't going to solve your scarcity consciousness, your people pleasing, your fear of rejection, your fear of visibility, your unworthiness, your control issues, whatever the ego might be bringing into this classroom right now. Changing your business isn't going to fix that, right? Because your business is just the vehicle, but you are the vessel that is here to walk into these classrooms and to work out your lessons. So all these lessons will simply reappear in a different form. So it's all comes down to, what did we make our business mean? What rules did we give it? What expectations did we give it? And where can we release that, remembering that the source of our safety is in us. The source of our safety is through spirit. And the business is an extension and a vehicle for us to extend love, to use it as our classroom, all of these beautiful things that can come from us having a safe place to express, to do what we're here to do. I loved this episode. My goodness. So listen, if this episode spoke to you, it was meant for you. So stay close, subscribe, and I will keep bringing you inside the mind miracles every day. We'll see you on the next episode.